Somebody said, I don't think you deserve to make more money, even though you worked harder and you closed more houses. I don't think you deserve any more money. That's corporate. Said to drive dangerously. How about that?
Well, just don't be dangerous with them.
I like danger.
No, you don't. Like Dangerous Wilson. I love his screen name. If your name was Russ, I would like have you bite his style. You'd be like Dangerous Jamerson.
Oh, okay. Is that why you trying to look like Sierra?
My aunt told me I looked like Sierra a long time ago.
Aunt who?
My Aunt Janice from Philly.
Yo, this clothes looks pretty dope.
My cousin.
Yeah.
704 shop.
Yeah.
He has us looking snazzy today. We look like we're...
I got a bunch of people checking out my outfit.
Yeah,
I think they were wondering
like,
if it was
ooh.
real Burberry. They were like, yo, 704 shop sells Burberry?
I think it feels pretty. How's it feel on the inside?
It feels warm and comfortable. But anyway, shout out to your cousin, Chris Moxley.
Yes.
One of the 3 co-founders of 704 Shops. Shout out to Jerry, too. You know,
Yeah.
I knew Jerry,
So
too.
who's the other one?
I think his name is...
Chris is
I don't want to say his name
important
because I don't want to be wrong.
He's my cousin.
It's one of 2 names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Chris came to my first show.
And Chris did not know that Reggie and I had ties to each other, and he came to your first show.
Oh, why would he know that?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
so
just, it
Chris
goes
came
to
to my
show we were
first
going to
show.
end up together regardless.
He came to
in
my
a
first
way.
show in 2008. The very, 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 very first rock show I ever had.
And then he helped us move into our first apartment.
He did. He sure did.
And you're like, oh, I know you. You're Ashley's cousin? Small world.
Yeah, Chris is a cool dude. Jerry
He's
Jerry
so
was one of
tall.
one of my bandmates' friends, so I knew Jerry back then through that too. I think Jerry and him were working on something else, and that's how I met them both. But yeah.
I like that their style is evolving.
Yeah.
Like before, it was just like the 704 emblem. They still use that, but I love the script, and I really like.
He took a big step. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you were already an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
He took a big step and committed full time to it, and
It's
the other guy did
scary.
too. And you know, so yeah, I bet
It's
it is
scary.
scary. Well, I want to talk about entrepreneurship and the fact that we're seeing more entrepreneurs,
Yeah,
especially like minority entrepreneurs.
I think it's because the fear has been equalized.
Fear of what?
Fear of failure.
By
Like once you get over the fear of being fired, and you like, would I rather be fired or fire myself?
yes,
Once you get to that point, or do you want to consistently ask somebody for permission, validation, approval? Once you get over that, or once you feel that your expertise has surpassed those who you looked up to in an industry, and that fear is removed.
don't you feel? Because you told me this a long time ago. You said, I gotta work for myself because I can't work for anybody else. I don't like taking orders from other
Yeah, my
people.
personality type, I can't take it. That's
Yeah.
just me personally. I can't. I remember when I first started real estate here in Charlotte, I worked for a company, and I chose that company because I felt like they matched my online type of what I do online and stuff. And once I got there, like I literally joined the company, closed on a home within 30 days. And when I got my check, it hurt because they ain't do nothing. You know, I was like, well, what did you do? Like your logo didn't help me. You didn't help me with the file. You didn't help me get the client. You didn't have any problems with it. Like I knew what I was doing. Like, what did you do? And then they couldn't explain the transaction fee and the office transaction. Like they were two different, they couldn't explain it. Like they could have explained it, I might have stayed a little bit longer. But when you can't explain why you taking money, then we ain't going to get along together. Yeah, so, and I think they wanted to ride the coattails of my channel.
I think, yeah, probably. I think being an entrepreneur is a dream a lot of people have, but to take that step and do it, is a very scary thing. And I know you said that the fear has been neutralized, but I disagree. I think that there's always a fear of failure when it comes to being an entrepreneur and not,
But at least I'd
being
rather
successful.
fail on my own than a company failing and their only way out is to fire me and I had
But it's
nothing to
bigger
do
than
with
that,
it.
and it's bigger than that.
Well, that's
See,
how my brain works.
well, you got to think about other people who want to be entrepreneurs who may be in different family situations where, the family is dependent on them, and they don't have that ability to just go and do it. They're the only breadwinner in that family, and they gotta stay in their corporate job or whatever. That's a realistic situation, and ideally, a perfect world is where you can leave your current job and just go and do another job and not miss a beat, make more money probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, you're gonna lose money and you're gonna work longer.
I also think that people glorify entrepreneurship because they feel like,
Shouldn't it be?
well, they make it into something that it's not.
Tell me.
They
what you
like,
mean.
oh, I can make my own schedule. I can, do what I want to do. I can design my day. And yeah, you can design it. So like when I look and I'm planning next year, I can plan the time I want to take off. I can say I'm not going to work these days. However, because I'm a service provider, like we had lunch, I had 5 phone calls. Text messages, emails, 3 fires. Like sometimes you can't turn it off, and that part is not, out there. Like when COVID first hit, I remember getting emails from my cousin's shop. Their supply chain was affected, so
Yeah.
they probably had to figure things out on the fly. And even in real estate, the supply chain is affected. Like I used to be able to call it, say, oh, expect this next, do this next. And now it's sometimes it's very reactive instead of being proactive. And that stresses me out.
What you just pointed out, though, on the flip side, people who have like regular 9-to-5s or corporate jobs,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't have the freedom. They don't have the passion for those jobs. They just take them for the money.
Mm-hmm.
And doing something that doesn't give you any kind of gratification just to make a paycheck it almost deadens you. So a lot of people go through that struggle of, I'm not happy with what I'm doing, but I'm too afraid to leave what I'm doing. The freedom you just talked about being able to, yes, you can do your own schedule, but the biggest thing is you really control what you got to do next. And now that's a responsibility thing, but at the same time, it's better than somebody who you feel either does or does not have a better grasp of what you're doing than you telling you what to do, especially if you don't agree with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine, like the thing you mentioned, working for somebody who you feel doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't know what they're talking about, and you have to take their directions and do the bad things or the things that you feel like are not good. So there's a lot more baggage, and you've kind of, because you've been an entrepreneur for so long, you've kind of been shielded from that. But like, just from my experiences and talking with people, like, you can have situations where you just really feel like I'm wasting my life for a paycheck.
Well, there's times where, like this year, where there was a balance. It was like, I love doing real estate. Like when I'm at home and like when I was quarantining myself and stuff like that, like I love doing real estate, and it ached me not being able to do real estate because it's fun. But then I have those files that I'm like, why in the heck?
I tell you what,
client?
check this out. This is a really easy point that I'm about to make. The harder you work, the more money you make, right?
Yes.
The harder people work in corporate jobs, they don't make any more money from it.
I mean, they get bonuses and.
No, that has nothing to do with
But
your
some
individual.
people like recognition too. So you remember when I went through that phase where I was like, oh,
I think everybody likes money. Everybody likes money.
They do, but I'm just saying, like, there was a time.
But hold on, think
where
about it.
I wanted
Think
an award.
about it. If you worked hard
Uh-huh.
and you didn't sell any more houses because somebody said, I don't think you deserve to make more money, even though you worked harder and you closed more houses, I don't think you deserve any more money. That's corporate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a raise unless I feel like you deserve a raise. And that level of what you deserve is totally subjective.
And like, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I never really, that like corporate world never really attracted me. Like even when I was like, oh, I want to be a lawyer, I didn't want to be a lawyer at someone else's firm. I wanted to be a lawyer at my own firm. It was never, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or an attorney. I don't know if there's a difference. I don't know. Maybe I should say attorney. But I just never really saw myself working for people because I feel like I know what I'm doing, and if I don't, I'll just ask somebody else. Like I'm not ashamed to ask people, but I don't like people telling me what to do.
I think most of the people who see this video are gonna understand some of the points that I'm saying.
Yeah, because I mean I don't understand corporate, like you know that.
And to be fair, I think you work and you have way more like weight on your shoulders than I do, because if you don't do anything, right? Because you're the main person for the company. If you don't do anything, everything drops down.
Yeah.
And from your perspective, you're trying to build that company up to the point where, you know, it's just knocking out on all cylinders with no problem. So there's a lot of pressure on you, right? And there's always pressure, even with people who work for you. There's still pressure that they're going to do a good job. So it's really stressful too.
Yeah, my fear when with hiring people is, you know, I don't have like a prestige realty or some ambiguous name. The name on my company is like my maiden name. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like my name is on that. So if they go out and jacking stuff up, that's tied to me.
Yeah.
And
versus you being a manager somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm always terrified. Like when I do final walkthroughs for my agents.
In the right place. Yes.
And then I see stuff and I'm like, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, well, did I train them on that? Did I show them that? Like, should I have to show them that? Like, shouldn't they know that?
Well,
like,
we can talk a whole video about your expectations for people.
I have high.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, if you are online shopping and you're comparing stuff for days on end and you're spending like 2 hours, like this bed, I've been looking at it for how long? And you looked at it online?
Yeah.
You shouldn't spend more time shopping to buy a product than helping somebody buy a house. It's not like...
Well, let's just summarize this up because we got to go. I think an easy way of saying this is that you're blessed because you're so successful as an entrepreneur. Your cousin's blessed because he's worked on establishing something that's really great.
I'm so proud of him.
I think that what you guys have done is what we should be aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, we're out. Peace.